Let me take you back to that evening. Thursday, October. You're sitting at your own dinner table. The pot roast came out perfect, your grandmother's recipe, the one that takes 4 hours. Your 6-year-old is drawing flowers on a napkin. Everything looks like a postcard. Then your wife puts her fork down, looks at you the way someone looks at a waiter who brought the wrong order, and says, loud enough for your daughter to stop coloring, "I can leave anytime I want, Ryan. Anytime. Don't forget that." You've heard it before. Dozens of times. Maybe hundreds. It's her favorite sentence. The one she pulls out when you don't agree fast enough, don't apologize hard enough, don't bend the right direction. She says it like she's reading the weather, like it's a fact about gravity. But this time, something different happens. You get up, walk to the front door, open it wide. October air rolls in. You look at her and say 5 words. Go ahead. Doors open. And her face, I wish you could have seen it. That confident jaw went slack. Eyes wide. Not angry wide. Scared wide. Like a poker player who just got called and realized she's been bluffing with nothing. That was my kitchen. My wife. My door. My name is Ryan Calloway. I'm 41. I run an electrical contracting company out of Nashville. Built it from a used van and a toolbox my father left me. 14 employees. My hands still smell like copper most days. Jenna and I met 11 years ago at a friend's barbecue in East Nashville. She was sharp, funny, had this way of making you feel like you were the only person in a crowded room. She worked in pharmaceutical sales, good at it, too. Competitive. Driven. I liked that about her. Thought we were the same kind of stubborn. We married after 2 years. Sophie came 4 years later. For a while, it was everything I thought a life should look like. Saturday mornings at Shelby Bottoms with Sophie on my shoulders. Jenna singing along to the radio while I grilled. That one trip to Gulf Shores where she fell asleep on my chest on the porch, and I didn't move for 2 hours because I didn't want to wake her. But somewhere around year 7, Jenna started keeping score. It began small. You never plan anything. You don't notice when I change my hair. You're getting comfortable, Ryan. Little jabs that didn't draw blood individually, but left bruises if you were paying attention. Then the threat started. I don't have to be here, you know. At first, it shocked me. I'd apologize, rearrange, try harder. And she'd soften. The cycle worked, for her. She'd threaten the foundation, I'd scramble to fix it, and she'd watch me scramble with this quiet satisfaction. Like she'd proven something. By year 10, she'd say it at dinner. In front of Sophie. During phone calls with her mother on speaker. Ryan knows I can walk out anytime. And here's where the story changes. That Thursday in October, when I opened that door, I wasn't angry. I wasn't making a point. I was just finished. The tank was empty. Not from one night, but from 1,000 small withdrawals with no deposits. Jenna sat there for 11 seconds. I counted. Then she stood up, grabbed her keys, and walked out. No suitcase. No coat. Just her phone and her pride. Sophie looked up from her napkin. Is mommy going to the store? Maybe, sweetheart. Finish your flowers. I cleaned the kitchen. Bathed Sophie. Read her 2 chapters of Charlotte's Web. Tucked her in. Then I sat on the porch in the dark for an hour. Not thinking. Not planning. Just sitting with the strange, quiet truth that my wife had walked out and I hadn't chased her. My hands were shaking. I pressed them flat against my knees until they stopped. She came back at midnight. I was in bed, lights off. She slipped in like a teenager past curfew. Didn't say a word. I listened to her breathing go from shallow to slow. She expected to find me pacing. Calling. Texting. I was asleep. Friday morning. She came down to the kitchen. I was making Sophie's lunch. Peanut butter and banana, crusts cut off. Jenna poured coffee, waited. I could feel her waiting. The whole kitchen hummed with it. So, we're not going to talk about last night. What about it, Ryan? I walked out. I know. I opened the door. She blinked. Set her mug down harder than she meant to. You're not going to say anything? You said you can leave anytime. You left. You came back. What do you want me to say? That was the first crack. Not in me, in her certainty. Stay with me here. Because what happened over the next 3 weeks, I still replay it. Day 1, Saturday. She made pancakes. She hasn't made pancakes in 2 years. Set the table with cloth napkins. Smiled at me like it was our first date. These are great, I said. Thanks. And went back to my newspaper. Her smile flickered. Day 2, Sunday. She suggested a drive to Franklin. Family outing. I told her I had to review payroll. Maybe next weekend. She didn't argue. That was new. Day 3, Monday. No good morning text. I used to send one every single day for 9 years. 9 years. She never once sent one first. I just stopped. She checked her phone twice before noon. I know because Sophie told me later. Mommy kept looking at her phone and making a face. Day 4, Tuesday. She mentioned a work dinner. I said, sounds good. Nothing else. She stood in the doorway for a beat, like she was waiting for the interrogation. The questions about who, where, what time. They didn't come. You don't care where I'm going? You're an adult, Jenna. You don't need my permission. I wasn't being strategic. I want you to understand that. I was just tired. The kind of tired that sleep doesn't fix. 11 years of being the one who reached first, apologized first, planned first, cared first. I didn't have anything left to give. The engine ran out of fuel. Simple as that. Day 5, Wednesday. She wore the dress I bought her for her birthday. The green one. Walked through the living room twice. I was helping Sophie with homework. That color looks nice on you, I said without looking up. She stood there, waiting for more. There wasn't more. Day 6. That's when everything shifted. 11:47 p.m. My phone buzzed. Jenna, texting me from the bedroom while I was on the couch watching the Titans game. I miss us. I stared at that text for a full minute. Typed, good night, Jenna. Hit send. 30 seconds later. That's it. I didn't respond. Day 7. She was angry. Slammed cabinet doors. Short answers. Ice cold. You're different, she said. You're being weird and distant, and it's not fair. I'm being honest. There's a difference. What does that even mean? It means I stopped pretending that your threats to leave don't affect me. They did. For years. And I'm done absorbing that. She opened her mouth. Closed it. Left the room. Now here's where I need to tell you about Craig Dupree. Craig's been my best friend since high school. Owns a plumbing company 2 blocks from my shop. We grab lunch at Martin's Barbecue every Thursday. He's the kind of guy who doesn't say much, but when he does, you write it down. That Thursday, I told him everything. The door. The silence. The texts. Craig ate his pulled pork, wiped his hands, and said, "You check her phone?" I don't go through her phone. Maybe you should. Why? Because Vanessa Carter doesn't coach women to make pancakes, brother. Vanessa, Jenna's closest friend, divorced 2 years ago after she told her husband she needed to find herself. Found herself at a condo in Green Hills with a real estate agent named Todd. Vanessa ran some kind of informal network, divorced women and women who wanted to be. She called it empowerment. Craig's wife called it something else. What are you saying, Craig? I'm saying the threats, the walking out, the whole routine. What if it's not her personality? What if someone taught her that playbook? I sat in my truck in the Martin's parking lot for 20 minutes after Craig left. Engine off. Hands on the wheel. Not because I was angry. Because suddenly the last 3 years of my marriage rearranged themselves in my head like one of those pictures that looks like a vase until someone tells you it's 2 faces. That night, Jenna was in the shower. Her phone buzzed on the nightstand. I wasn't looking for anything, but the preview lit up the screen. Vanessa, is he crawling back yet? My stomach dropped. I picked up the phone. It wasn't locked. Jenna never worried about that. Why would she? I was the one who never checked. I scrolled. 5 weeks of messages. Vanessa coaching her. Word for word. Tell him you can leave anytime. Men need to feel the threat. Don't apologize first. Ever. He has to earn your presence. If he starts pulling away, panic him. Mention Derek. Derek. I kept scrolling. And there was Derek. Derek Sims. Her colleague from the Memphis office. The messages weren't what you'd expect. No photos, nothing explicit. But they were worse. Emotional. Intimate. Inside jokes I'd never heard. I wish I could talk to you every night. You understand me in ways he never tried to. Derek was the safety net. The reason every threat felt so confident. She wasn't bluffing with nothing. She had somewhere to land. She came out of the shower humming. Picked up her phone, checked it, put it down. Looked at me and smiled. Want to watch something tonight? Sure, I said. We watched a cooking show. She leaned against my shoulder. I sat perfectly still. Not because I was rigid, because I was processing the distance between who she was pretending to be and who she actually was. The gap was enormous. Grand Canyon enormous. I didn't confront her. Not yet. Because the last time I tried to talk about us, 8 months ago, she'd given me that patient, amused look. The one that said, "You're overreacting." And I'd believed her. She wouldn't get that chance again. Monday morning, I called Craig. Then I called a lawyer named Ruth Ellison. Craig's cousin. Quiet woman, sharp mind. Don't change anything visible, Ruth told me. Document. Protect your finances. And whatever you do, don't let her know you know. Not yet. Week 2. The withdrawal continued. Not as strategy, as reality. Knowing what I knew, I just couldn't perform anymore. The good morning kisses felt like acting. The "how was your day" felt like lines from a play I'd already left. And Jenna noticed. Monday of week 2, she cooked dinner. Again. Steak. Candles. Sophie was at Jenna's mother's house. I thought we could have a nice evening, she said. Soft voice. Gentle eyes. She reached across the table and took my hand. That's thoughtful, I said. Ate the steak. Helped with dishes. Went to the garage to work on a cabinet I was building. She followed me out. Stood in the doorway. Ryan, I know I've been difficult. I know I say things I shouldn't. I'm scared sometimes, scared of losing this. And when I'm scared, I push. It's not right. I know it's not right. Her voice cracked. Her eyes were wet. And I'll tell you something. She was convincing. She was so convincing that for about 30 seconds, I felt the old instinct. The one that wanted to put down the sandpaper, cross the room, and hold her. The one that said maybe she's just broken, maybe she needs help, maybe this can still work. Then I remembered. Is he crawling back yet? And the feeling evaporated like water on hot asphalt. I appreciate you saying that, Jenna. That's all I gave her. She waited for the rest. The "I love you." The "we'll figure it out." It didn't come. Wednesday of week 2. She went cold. Arctic. Walked past me like furniture. Didn't speak at breakfast. Slammed her car door so hard the echo bounced off the neighbor's house. Thursday. She mentioned Derek for the first time. Derek's team is coming to Nashville next month for a conference. He asked if we could grab dinner. You'd like him. I looked at her. She was testing. Dangling. Waiting for jealousy. Sure. Sounds fine. Her jaw tightened. Wrong answer. Friday. She cried. Not in front of me, behind the bedroom door. I heard it walking past. Quiet and steady. The real kind. The kind that comes when the performance runs out, and all that's left is the truth underneath. I almost knocked. Almost. But Ruth's words. Don't let her know you know. Not yet. I kept walking. Saturday morning. Sophie was at the table eating cereal. Jenna was upstairs. Sophie looked at me with those enormous brown eyes and said, Daddy, how come you and Mommy don't laugh anymore? My throat closed. I kissed her forehead. We're just tired, baby. Grown up tired. Week 3. Everything changed again. Jenna wrote me a letter. Handwritten. 3 pages. Left it on my pillow. I read it twice. It was beautiful. Raw. She talked about the barbecue where we met. The way I looked at her. How safe she felt. How somewhere she lost the thread and started treating our marriage like something she had to win instead of something she got to keep. She said she was sorry. Not the surface sorry, the kind that names specific things. The threat at the dinner table. The silence when I tried to talk. The way she trained herself to see my kindness as weakness. I don't want to be this person anymore, she wrote. I want to be the woman who fell asleep on your chest in Gulf Shores. I sat with that letter for an hour. And I'll be honest, part of me wanted to believe it. The part that remembered 11 years. The part that watched her rock Sophie to sleep and sing off-key and laugh so hard milk came out of her nose on Christmas morning. But then my phone rang. Unknown number. A woman's voice. Calm. Direct. Is this Ryan Calloway? It is. My name is Patricia Sims. I'm Derek Sims' wife. The floor shifted under me. Your wife has been messaging my husband for 7 months. I found everything last week. I'm not calling to cause trouble. I'm calling because you deserve to know what I know. Patricia told me things that rewired my understanding of the last year. Jenna hadn't just been texting Derek. She'd visited him. Twice. Once during a sales conference in Memphis that I'd packed her suitcase for. Once during a girls' weekend with Vanessa that Vanessa had covered for. But here's the twist. Derek had ended it. 2 weeks ago. Right around the time Jenna started making pancakes and writing love letters. He told her it was over, Patricia said. She didn't take it well. Started calling him at work. Showed up at our gym. That's when I found the messages. So the letter she wrote me was because her plan B fell through. Not because she woke up. The room went very quiet. The kind of quiet that has weight. The kind you feel in your chest. The letter wasn't a return. It was a retreat. She didn't come back to me because she wanted me. She came back because she had nowhere else to go. But Patricia wasn't done. There's something else. Your wife's friend Vanessa. She tried the same thing with Derek. Before your wife did. Derek turned her down. That's when Vanessa introduced him to Jenna. She coached your wife into this, Mr. Calloway. Your wife was her project. I think Patricia hung up, sat very still. Sophie was in the next room watching cartoons. Jenna was at a yoga class, or wherever she actually was. And I was sitting with the knowledge that my marriage hadn't just been failing. It had been dismantled, methodically, by a woman my wife called her best friend. And my wife had let it happen. I called Ruth. I'm ready. Come in Monday morning. That weekend, I was calm. Not performing calm, genuinely calm. The kind that comes when you stop fighting for something and start protecting what matters. Sophie, the business, my sanity. Jenna noticed. But this time, my calm didn't confuse her. It terrified her. You're scaring me, she said Sunday night. You're too quiet. I'm being clear. There's a difference. Clear about what? About what I'm willing to accept. Monday morning. Ruth's office. I brought everything. Texts. Dates. Patricia's statement. Financial records showing Jenna had moved $8,000 to an account I didn't know existed. Ruth looked at the file for 10 minutes. Then she said, "This is clean. You'll be fine. Sophie stays with you." Monday evening. Jenna was setting the table when I got home. She'd bought flowers. Sunflowers, my favorite. She was trying so hard it almost hurt to watch. "Jenna, sit down." She sat. The flowers were still in her hand. "I know about Derek." The color drained from her face. Not slowly, like someone pulled a plug. "I know about the visits. I know about Vanessa coaching you. I know about the account. I know Derek ended it. And that's why you wrote me that letter." She opened her mouth, closed it, opened it again. "Ryan, you don't understand the full." I talked to his wife, Jenna. Silence. The kind that fills a room like water. Then the cycling began. Fast. Desperate. Tears first. "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It was a mistake. He meant nothing. You visited him twice. You don't visit mistakes." Anger next. "You drove me to this. You were never here. You were always at the shop, always with Craig, always. You told me I was enough for 9 years. Were you lying then, or are you lying now?" Bargaining. "We can fix this. Counseling. Anything. I'll cut off Vanessa. I already blocked Derek. Please. Think about Sophie. I'm thinking about Sophie. That's the only reason I'm sitting here instead of standing at a door telling you to walk through it." She flinched. Her own words, coming back. Then the last phase. Quiet. Raw. Frightened. "I don't know how I got here," she whispered. "Vanessa said. She made it sound like you were the problem. Like you were holding me back. And I believed her because believing her was easier than looking at myself. You still chose it, Jenna. Every text. Every visit. Every thread at that dinner table in front of our daughter. That was you." She pressed her palms against her eyes. Her shoulders shook. When she finally looked up, the mask was gone. Not the pretty tears. Not the performance. Just a woman sitting in the ruins of something she'd demolished with her own hands. "What happens now?" "Now you move into the guest room. My lawyer will contact yours. We figure out what's best for Sophie. That's what matters. And us. You said you could leave anytime. You left a long time ago, Jenna. I'm just finally agreeing with you." She didn't respond to that. There was nothing to respond to. That was November. By December, the papers were filed. Sophie stayed with me in the house. Jenna got an apartment in Germantown. Vanessa's pattern caught up with her. Patricia Sims wasn't quiet about what happened. 2 other women in Vanessa's circle started comparing notes. Turns out Jenna wasn't her first project. Or her second. First Saturday in the new arrangement. I made pancakes for Sophie. Real ones. With the faces and the chocolate chip eyes. She ate 3. "Daddy?" "Yeah, baby. These are better than Mommy's." I laughed. First real laugh in months. It sounded strange in that kitchen. Good strange. 2 months later. Jenna called. Not texted, called. Her voice was different. Smaller. I started seeing a therapist. A real one. Not Vanessa's kind. Good. She asked me why I needed to threaten the people I love to feel safe. I didn't have an answer. That sounds like progress. Pause. "I'm not asking you to come back. I know I don't get to ask for that. I just wanted you to know I'm trying. For real this time. Not because my backup plan fell through. Because Sophie deserves a mother who isn't performing. She does." "Ryan." "Yeah. I'm glad you opened that door." I looked out the window. Nashville in January. Gray sky. Bare trees. Sophie's bike leaning against the porch railing with the training wheels she swears she doesn't need anymore. "Yeah," I said. "Me too. Funny thing about doors." She spent years threatening to walk through one, thinking I'd nail it shut. Turns out the bravest thing I ever did was hold it open. Some doors, once you open them, change which side of the house you're standing on. Dear listeners, that's our ending. If it resonated, subscribe to support the channel. See you next time.